Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5, Blueprint Mastery, Door Systems and Interactive Portals. Previously, we started with our VFX door. We changed to make the door open and close while it's closing and opening with E by using the switch and using the opening and closing outputs. And we also added a handle in the door that we parented to the static mesh, and we animated it using our timeline by setting the relative rotation of the handle to a static rotator. Now, we said that we're gonna add some visual effects, but let's add a few more things. For example, let's add a sound to the handle, and this time we're gonna use an audio component. So to demonstrate its use. So let's call this door sound. So what is this audio component? As the static mesh components and as other components, it's a shell. It's a shell of a type. So this type is audio. It's empty, so we have to set what type of sound it plays. And we're not going to do this on the details tab. We're going to do it on runtime, because since it's an audio component of the door, it doesn't disappear. When we play sound to D, it creates a sound and it disappears. Now it's a component. So it's a sound that we have it as a variable in components. You can actually find it, door sound right here, audio component, and reuse it and change it every time. I'm going to bring it over here. And when pressing E, I'm gonna do a sequence, and I'm gonna stop, first of all, whatever sound is this door sound playing. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a new sound. So I'm gonna use the set sound node, connect it over here, maybe a little bit more room. And for the sound, I'm gonna choose door handle. The next thing we need to do is just play the sound. And that would be it. But let's reuse the door sound, the audio component, for a second use. I'm gonna copy paste all this. I'm gonna go in the end of the timeline finish, and when I'm closing the door, not always, just when I'm closed, the door is closed, not open, we want to make some room to make this more visible. Let's get this over here. And on the close, on the backwards of the timeline, basically, we are going to connect this logic. Let's bring it over here. So now, when the door is actually closed, it will play a close sound. So let's choose door close. So now our handle plays a sound, and when the door is actually closed, it's actually playing a sound that is closing. That it closed, it hit the close animation finished, basically. Let's test this out. Let's compile first. Press play. Okay. As you can see, when it tries to play the sound of the handle, it gets overwritten by the sound of the door closed. All right. Now, this is happening because we are stopping the door sound and we are playing a new sound over it. So, since this sound hasn't finished, where is it? Over here, hasn't finished playing when we are closing the door, it gets stopped. Where is it? Over here. It gets stopped, it sets a new sound, and it plays the new sound. The next thing we will do is go to our map and demonstrate a little bit the get all actors with tag. because we demonstrated the get all actors of class, so that we're getting all the actors of the map, and then we filter out the class, and then we figure out which actors are the ones we want. Now we're gonna do it with tag, get all actors of tag, which doesn't go through all the classes, all the actors in the map, just goes through with the actors of tag. It's much more optimal node. To do this, first of all, we're gonna bring our particle system, NS fireworks, in our map. And let's place it somewhere. Let's not activate it. So I'm gonna go to its details. As you can see, the particle by default is activated the moment I add it to the map. Now, if I go over here in the details and search for active, auto active will be turned off, and now no more particle. So let's also search for tag and go to actor tags and add the tag P. I'm gonna move it over here a little bit, over here. All right, it's behind the door. Okay, now let's activate this particle. And let's do a trick. Since I want this to happen again only when the door is closed, well, let's activate the particle like when the door has closed completely, then the particle activates, not when the door is opening. But I do want this to be common in both functions. Now, I could separate this and actually add it somewhere here or after here, because it updates the widget. But what we can do is just to show a little bit trick here. I'm going to do a sequence again. And now we can have this as a separate functionality, separate logic for when the door is closing. Now I'm gonna do get all actors with tag. And the tag will be P for particle that we just created. An interesting thing would be to see that this one is getting all actors of tag, not all components. We have our component in the player on the capsule that is again P. And here we have an actor with the tag P. An actor is not a component. So this node over here will not look for the player class. So if I do a print string here for each loop, and actually I don't need to do it. I can just do a print string and get the length of this. And connect it to the print string. What we should see when I press play and open and close the door is 1. As you can see, it doesn't search, it doesn't find the character component that has a tag P. It just searches for actors. That was just a demonstration. We do not need the print string. But what we need to do is get the first copy of the array. This is another array node that we can get a number from the list. So we're gonna cast to Niagara system, Niagara actor, because we did get the actor, but we don't know what type of actor it is. We only have a tag. If it was get all actors of class, we could filter out the class and then we could have direct access to that class. But now that it's get all actors of tag, we need to cast to our result to ask if this is the class that we want. And from here, we're gonna get Niagara component. I think it's in the bottom, yes, and set activate. And as you can see, I again needed to get the Niagara component, because if I draw from here activate, you can see it directly leads me to Niagara component. This is a Niagara actor, but what I'm activating is the Niagara component of that actor. So I'm gonna set reset also. This means play the particle from the beginning, and let's play a sound when this is happening. And to do that, we're not gonna play the sound endlessly. Let's play the 100 times, 100 fireworks. It won't correlate to the particle. The particle will stay alive after the 100 sounds played, but 100 sounds, I think it's enough to make it okay. So I'm gonna do n, and instead of finding it here, which is a hassle, I'm gonna press n and click. Just bring to n. I'm gonna set the n to 100. I'm gonna put a delay over here so it doesn't play one sound after the other instantly. We're gonna do a random in range float, so we give it a little bit of randomization. Let's do 0.5 to 1, and let's play sound 2D. That we're also gonna play with the pitch. We're gonna do a random float in range, and it's gonna be from 0.9 to 1.1. And for the sound, we're gonna choose fireworks Q. And then we're gonna need to call this again. So I'm gonna create a custom event and call do and fireworks. I'm gonna connect it over here, and I'm gonna do and fireworks. So this creates a small loop that will play 100 times, and then it will not play anymore. But before we go test it, let's also add a little bit of a cinematic. Let's add something that we can see the fireworks in our player. To do that, I'm gonna bring a camera actor, and I'm gonna right click on the camera and pilot it. Not pivot, pilot, camera actor, here it is. So now I'm actually moving the camera. You can see up here, pilot actor, camera actor. So right now I am basically the camera. So I want a nice view of where I want to see it. Maybe could be over here, to be honest, we could see everything. And I'm gonna cast to camera actor. And how do I possess this camera? How do I change the view? Well, there is a very simple node called set view target with blend. But as you can see, I cannot call it from here. The reason is that I need to get player controller first, because this is a controller. The controller has the camera manager. This is who is supposed to do this. So if I'm just dragging from a random execution, it cannot give me this. It can actually, if I do set view target with blend and turn off context sensitive. But I can see it here. You can see game, player. Now, because player and game and camera manager are children of the player controller, they are included here in a very broad sense of how classes work and inherit from each other. Anyway, we're gonna do a set view target with blend, and if I turn off context sensitive, I still can't see it. Ah, here it is. Maybe I written something wrong. Anyway, from the player controller, we can get this. Now, the new view target would be our camera actor. Oops. And the previous one would be our controller. I'm gonna compile and save. Let's set the blend time to 2 seconds, 2.5. And let's test it out. So I'm gonna press play. I'm gonna open the door, and when I close it, we are supposed to blend view target and see the fireworks. Okay, the fireworks worked, but the camera didn't, because I left the tag P. That was anticlimactic. So, second time is the charm. We're gonna open and close. Yay. As you can see, I can still move the character, which is not a big deal, but if we wanted to stop this, we could just go over here, get controlled pawn, and disable input. But I do like that I can move the character, to be honest. And now I cannot move the character. Now you see the eOpen has stayed. So there would need to be a new code here to remove the widget, which actually we can easily do. Just gonna copy paste this. The remove widget from the game mode. Let's clear it out a bit. Let's play. Yep, the widget is removed, the door is opening, and we have fireworks. All right. Now, let's get the player start in the beginning. The player start with the tag start. So our map is complete. And let's run through it. We go here, we approach the door, it opens. We step over here, it closes. We used the level blueprint to do this. We created then a door blueprint that opens with E and closes. Then we went ahead and created a door that opens and closes and opens opposite from player. We made it a double door and we added some sounds to it. We made a locked from the other side door, a shortcut door that the player needs to be on this side to open. We went and made a puzzle door with a lever that it needs a single lever to open, and the lever opens, sends the door the message to unlock. And then we created a two lever system that the door checks the levers. We created some physics over here with the boxes. I think it was 2, yes, the cheat. We're pressing 2, and we have this sliding door over here with 2 pressure switches. We have a small puzzle with buttons that the door opens and closes if the puzzle is correct. We also have an item door. I should have picked the wrong one first. And then we have the teleport to another location of the map. We have our physics door. We have a teleport to another map that we demonstrate the save ability. That we can see the door is open here, and if I go through again, we close it, go over here, I'm gonna eject, and we can see it closed, and we are changing levels through all this procedure. And then we have our VFX door that has a handle, creates some fireworks, and changes our camera. And I think this would be it. Congratulations on making it this far in the Door series tutorial. You mastered the essentials and are ready to face the challenges ahead. Thank you for following along. Your journey doesn't end here, so stay curious and keep exploring. Until the next time, happy learning!